Okay. If you thought this was going to be the day you didn't have to hear about AI, well, child, I've got some news for you. But I promise this time it will be helpful. I'm Kate Noel, head of people operations here at Morning Brew Inc. and your host of People Person. And at our recent HR Brew Summit in New York City, I sat down with Deepali Vyas, aka the elite recruiter, and we got her take on so many of the HR hurdles I know we're all jumping over every single day. From PTO to RTO, and you know it, AI, Deepali shared the ways she skillfully navigates all of these issues every single day for herself and also her team. Whether you're a whiz or you're resisting the AI of it all, Deepali really broke it down and shared a lot of great tips. So, how do you balance working with both the robots and the humans? Well, let's find out. What's up, everyone? This is Kate Noel. I'm the head of people operations here at Morning Brew Inc. And I have the absolute pleasure, y'all, to have a conversation with your girl.
I'm Deepali Vyas, your elite recruiter.
Okay, recruiting the people, the talent, and all the things. So, look, we got a lot to chat about. Quickly, though, because I want you to hear the questions. Don't think too long. Okay. Whatever comes up in your spirit first is what we want to hear.
I'm all about that.
You down?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So, the first question is going to be about something that everyone's talking about, so you can take a wild guess what that one is.
AI.
I love that we are on one accord, one band, one sound. Okay, we see each other. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, based on AI, what would you say is the most important tool that AI has been to you that's been implemented either in your workspace, your department, or just professionally?
So I happen to lead the data and AI practice globally.
Oh, excuse me. Okay.
At ZRG Partners. So okay. I actually recruit chief data and AI officers across the globe.
Wow.
So for me, I have to be in it every day from a candidate perspective, from a client perspective. I'm advising my clients on what the AI roadmap should look like, who they should hire, what they should do with AI. For me, I'm obsessed with AI. I use all the tools all the time. And my biggest tool, my favorite tool that I'm using right now is Claude.
Oh man, yeah. Really?
So
okay.
I would say
all men in a good way, by the way.
Yes. So ChatGPT is like my girlfriend. Okay. Like if I have to go and feel good about myself when I'm asking it a question, it's awesome. But Claude is like my critical thinker. Like, are you sure about that, Deepali? You might want to think about these things. So it's a bit more critical. And I like using those, and I use them both in my media stuff, the content that I create, and then I also use it for my day job, right? When we're creating reports or presentations or pitch books or whatever it is. So I use AI all the time, and I feel that I'm like 30 to 40% more productive.
Oh, I live for that. And you felt that immediate impact, or did you feel like you had to build your way up when using your homegirl chat or Claude?
Well, I would say early user, just because I knew the people that were building this stuff early on.
To have friends in high places. I
had a little bit of a preview, but it's funny. My son is like, "Mom, are you using ChatGPT again?" I'm like, "Yeah, yes. I have to test it out, right? And I have to see what's good, what's not, how to get it, how to improve it." And speed dial to OpenAI. Like, guys, this sucks. Like,
wow.
We need to, so.
Well, thank you for the work you're doing in the background. Heck, because not for nothing, I did notice that difference. ChatGPT, definitely my homegirl. Like, she's on my phone. We kiki, but I feel like she's a little too yesing to me.
100%.
And I feel like as HR people, we need someone to be in the room or virtually.
But the next release is going to be better.
How do you know?
I know. I got the download.
Okay, so it's going to be better in the sense of it's going to be a bit more well-rounded in that way?
Yeah, I think so. The learning models are getting better.
Okay.
And so they are, offering more sort of critical thinking and pushing back a bit more like Claude does in terms of pros and cons and all of that. So look, all of these tools end up having a bit of parity. So it could be, Claude 6 months ahead, then comes OpenAI. All of these AI labs are so well funded, so well resourced, so that they're going to catch up fast. And then Gemini does really great work.
That's right.
Microsoft Copilot. So they're all in the mix.
Well, it's giving, Deepali low-key, that you have a discount code. Link in bio. It's given. If you just click on this,
Claude
you'll get...
partner. Well, I'm hoping for that, Brett. Claude, where are you?
Hello. We right here. Find us. We ain't going nowhere. All right. Well, okay. Next question for you, because I could go on AI forever.
Sorry, yeah.
No, you're fine.
On that one.
No. Never. No such thing. Okay. So what results do you hope this challenging job market would give us as a result of what's going on to the process overall?
Yeah. I'm hoping that we get to a place where there is less AI slop. So I think what a lot of candidates are doing right now is like, here's the job description, here's my resume, they upload it, and all the resumes is now in a sea of sameness. And what I'm really hoping employers end up doing is, obviously there's human in the loop, but what I want candidates to do is really look at their resume and have AI be their first draft thinking. But on the resume, when you have outcomes and objectives that you're listing, these 3 lightning facts about metrics and things like that, we know that your proven track record is on paper, and that's what's going to get you past the ATS systems. It's going to get a human to read. And for me to say, hey, in 6 seconds, what does this person do? What are they all about? I want to interview them. So I think not relying so much on AI from like a final draft, but a first draft thinking is fine. And I'm hoping that employers also think about, how are we going to use these tools to filter out some of this slop and get to the real crux of a person's experience?
What's been some of those things you think to like filter?
Yeah, I mean, I think, look, the algorithms are doing high-level filtering between titles, keywords, and some level of experience. And I think where the human needs to come in is just, what has this person done? What impact have they had on the business? What impact have they had on their team? What are the metrics? What are the percentages, cost optimization, revenue growth, et cetera? Those are the things that people can actually point to, like, I did that, right? As opposed to like, when someone says, I'm a manager on a resume, what does that mean?
Truly and honestly, at this point, did you even actually manage anybody?
Yeah.
You can
was it a person? Was it a project?
That's right.
Like, what was it?
Yeah.
So.
Okay, Joe. Well, RTO, how do you feel about those letters?
I love it.
Okay.
You know, I think that, okay, I'll give it to you this way. So I'm writing a book and it's going to be out soon. And I talk about sort of, what game are you in, right? And first of all, recognizing that in corporate, you're in a game. You got to know where you are in the season of your career. So early career folks, RTO, the reason why it benefits you is because you have proximity to people that are decision makers, and you get proximity to people that can see your worth and your value, right? So that is great. Mid-level, right? Depending on what life phase you are, a woman, a man, maybe you're recently married, whatever it is, but like, mid-level, you need to balance what that proximity looks like in terms of, you know, growing your career and the flexibility that you need at home. Senior level, right? You also need to figure out, am I passing the torch downwards? So do I need to be in the office and send the ladder down to people that I need to empower and grow? And I want my work-life balance. I've earned it.
Period.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's the seasons.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because obviously, maybe you haven't heard, but there's been lots of conversation lately from a certain someone who's just also released a... You gonna let me finish?
Oh, I know.
She just released the book.
I like her.
I live for her. I got the copy. I plan on seeing her in Atlanta on tour.
So I love her, and I know exactly who you're talking about. And I think she's making statements that are valid for someone that is a business owner. Okay? And someone that wants to build a business and employ people. I can see the mindset in which she said those things, because those are her expectations for her enterprise. That may not be the same expectations for another enterprise, right? Look, Jamie Dimon's saying all the time, everybody at JP Morgan, get back in the office, because he truly believes in proximity. Where you have Coinbase, another client of mine, that's like remote first company, because they're like, work from anywhere, we trust you, we hire the best people, and they're going to get the job done. Right? And they're both very successful in their own right. So Emma, girl, you do your thing. I love it. And I just think I think the expectation that people think that message is for everyone, it's not.
I don't think she meant it to be.
And it's not.
You know?
And I don't think she should get beat up for it, but I do think people need to realize she's speaking from a business owner's perspective.
Yeah. Oh, and just in case, for some reason, some people don't know what it was that she was saying, the idea is that, like, you cannot work from home if you're looking to have a progression at a certain level within your career. Find yourself in person in said office.
Look, and I think that there's also Zoom fatigue, right? And so
it's a trigger word for some people.
Exactly. and I think she's right. And like, I just named the seasons, right? When you're early career, you do need a little bit of that. When I was building my team, I had associates sit in my office when I was dialing, to CEOs negotiating deals. They needed to hear that. And they needed to hear how I spoke about that negotiation. right? And so if they didn't have that proximity, if they weren't there at that time, they wouldn't have gotten it. They wouldn't have gotten the nuance of it. So I think for young people in mid-career, think about what is the value and benefit that you're going to get out of it. And by the way, like, not everybody wants to like climb up that ladder, right? And so like, if you're comfortable where you are, then I would say, don't expect that there's going to be a promotion when everybody else is running a marathon trying to, outwork you and have that proximity, right? So you have to understand what your expectations are, right? The biggest disappointment is having expectations.
Mercy. Well, that's it for today. No, I'm kidding. That was amazing. No, it's true. Like, some things have to be lived and not taught, and you need to be in the room for that and talk to yourself. Like, is this okay for you?
Yeah, and that's how you network, right? Like, come on.
Kids ain't networking like that no more. Not in the same way.
I haven't interviewed for a job in 20 years because I got picked up by my network.
Wow. I mean, that's the hope. That's the plan. If
and 80% of jobs are in the hidden job market,
for real.
i.e. the network.
Very true. Very true. So something to learn from that today. Network. All right. So PTO, it seems like you like that.
I do.
You're into taking time off.
Absolutely.
All right. Obviously, there's nuances in different industries, companies, etc. But if there was an organization that did not have unlimited PTO or flexible PTO, what do you believe a minimum would be as an appropriate number for employees to have as a consideration?
I think ideally a month. Okay. And I think that splitting that up of like a 2 week and 2 week, like it really lets people recharge with that amount of time. If you think about what Netflix did, unlimited PTO, nobody ever took
not one,
you
not
know
a
what
man
I mean?
Person.
And so I think, again, it's based on where you are in your life phase, right? I have to take some time because my son's a golfer and I got to go places a lot, right, with him. And I have to support that. That's because I'm older now and, I'm senior enough to do that.
Okay.
But I imagine if I was young and taking too much time off, like there could be some eyebrow raises, right? Like, where are you? And by the way, okay, can I just, I'm going to do a corporate confession, right? Which is,
yes,
which is my podcast coming up soon. But my corporate confession is, I used to lie to my boss when I would go to India because, first of all, India is a very long trip. And I would always do it in December, which was a very downtime for the recruiting industry, right?
This is true.
And I would always have my phone and all of that on me, but I would literally, because I was so young, right? I was in my 20s and I was like, listen, I have to go to India. And I would always lie and say, I'm going for 10 days. Okay. I knew I was going for 2 weeks. The ticket said, but I know. You guys, that's why it's a corporate confession, right? Okay, like, woo! But the thing is, every time I was away, I did a deal. And so, like, my deal compensated for the, hey, my grandmother's sick and I have to extend my time in India. And, like, but the thing is, I never let my work fail, right? Like I had the wherewithal to do that, but I knew I wasn't gonna get that time off. But I knew I was working on a deal, and I'm like, I'm gonna get this deal done, even if I'm on vacation.
I respect the hustle. Shout out to your poor grandmother, minding her business, not being
poor
sick.
Grandma.
You're like, hey, again, the sickness.
I had so many grandmas.
One thing about a new job, you get a new set of grandparents every time.
That's what I'm talking about, girl.
Oh my God. Maybe I need to be a confession.
I totally. You're gonna come on the show. I would say, like, look, you are the CEO of your own career. Make decisions like you are the CEO.
I respect it, and you want to be the right kind of CEO because I can go anywhere. Anyway, last thought for us.
Yes.
HR hot take. What's something that you want the people to hear about you and your thoughts of what's happening in the HR landscape right now?
So I would say, look, I've put out some corporate truths that are really spicy, that HR works for the company and not for you, which is, kind of I don't mean that in the harshest way, but I think HR needs to reframe and put the human back in human resources in any organization. And I think they have a moment now. They have a seat at the table with AI. They have a seat at the table with organizational design. And they have a seat at the table to do the right things for the employee base or the workforce, as opposed to just risk mitigation for the company.
On that note, we all wrapped up, child. You heard her. She got things coming up as well, so let's get excited for that too. Deepali, I'm so glad that you came for the conversation. Let's do this again sometime.
Thank you so much, Kate. You're the best. I appreciate it.
That's what they say.
Our thanks to Deepali for joining us and enlightening us on all the ways she uses AI at work and in her own life, and making it sound super manageable. And don't be surprised if she drops by this show once again, because you know how we get down. If you want to drop us a note, you can reach us at peopleperson@morningbrew.com, and we'll see you next time.